Everything here was grey. The sea, the sky, the faces of villagers passing by. Caitlin sighed, the drab surroundings perfectly matching her mood. She shifted on the sea wall where she'd been sitting for the last 5 minutes. The chilled stone was turning her thighs to ice, but it was either brave the cold and all-pervading grey, or endure the tense atmosphere inside Rose Cottage, neither of which were terribly appealing. Cold salt water splashed onto her jeans as waves rippled against the wall, but she couldn't be bothered to move. She couldn't be bothered to do much these days, not since she'd ended up back in Heaven's Cove. She thought she'd got away from this tiny village on the Devon coast 15 years ago. She thought she'd escaped. But now she was back, and every cobbled street she walked, every corner she turned, was bringing up painful memories. Caitlin sighed again as she thought of her grandmother, Jessie, whose death only 3 weeks ago still felt raw. Of course, she was sad that Jessie was gone, but her sorrow was laced with shards of guilt. She shook her head, trying not to think of all the times she'd made excuses to avoid visiting her grandmother. So many pathetic excuses. Caitlin gazed across the grey expanse of water, wishing with all her heart that she'd made more of an effort. But regrets were pointless when it was too late to make amends. The sad thing was she hadn't been avoiding Jessie at all. Not really. She'd mostly been keeping away from her own sister, Isla, and with good reason. Isla had said very little since Caitlin had arrived 2 days ago with Maisie, but her mournful blue eyes said more than words. You lied to me. You lied and you left. It was quite unbearable, and if you added in Macy's furious adolescent glares, life was pretty rubbish right now. And that didn't even take into account Stuart's betrayal. How had Caitlin not realised the scale of her husband's problems until it was too late?